Welcome back, folks, to session 19 in the Grimpunk lands of terror.
Grimpunk, Grimpunk.
Last we left the Killjoys. You spent the night resting, recuperating, and adapting to your newly bound souls. At least, most of you did. For Chum was somewhat of a menace to Karalia, demanding that you speak with Hoffrey about your time lost to the Astral Sea. Corey eventually agreed to play host, but managed to eavesdrop on the conversation and learn some interesting tidbits. Apparently, this involved something called the Resurgence Protocol, very ominous sounding, the return of someone or something in some time. More concrete, it at least involves Kira and Goro, the other two mages, who might be able to help get Chum out of your head and save your souls, as well as some group called Dreamers, the fragments of Chum's memory. More than that, though, details are unfortunately scarce. But I'm sure that's all fine. In the morning, you enjoyed breakfast prepared by Hoffrey's staff. Corey and Dandon, you worked with your host to combine the magical components and items you had collected to create a new set of magical goggles for our young rogue. Hoffrey provided, thumbs up is right, Hoffrey provided his initial investment of 10,000 gold. God damn.
Truly too
To the
much.
So much money.
Killjoys, traveling apothecary and physician, and then agreed to spend the day infusing a spell into the cart for your travels. Before that, however, Hoffrey explained that he wanted to observe you all for the day, try and learn more about the results of your soul binding, your new abilities, and any potential side effects. Leading you then into a mundane-looking room, it quickly proved to be anything but. For you soon found yourselves in a dwarven hall, with lava rushing below, and a trio of magical training golems before you. Hoffrey observing from up above. You all tried out new skills, practiced old ones, and generally fucked my shit up. Returning from the training grounds as victorious conquerors, you now have the rest of the day to spend as you see fit, while Hoffrey finishes up tinkering with your cart. While you have goals, and somewhat of a ticking clock, Hoffrey expects you've got between 3 and 6 months before the stasis degrades and your souls begin to be overwritten by Chums once more. The question of where to go is somewhat open. Hoffrey, of course, has a permanent teleportation circle that you can use if you wish. There was talk of stopping in at Altenheim to pick up John's 401k, of traveling to the Ravencourt Sanctuary to find Kira Adrith, one of these last two mages, or perhaps to Ravia to try and recover Corey's notes on soul transfusion, or maybe somewhere else entirely. And so we return then to Hoffrey's and the Killjoys. As the day passes by, what are you all getting up to?
Well, after Corey gives John a mountain of homework, just truly a ludicrous amount of books, all with the same, like, scrawled noting, some dog-eared, some tabbed and whatnot, you know, manic studying of topics and whatnot. I am going to go try and find, Hoffrey. I know that he is working on the cart, but I need to ask some questions, arcane user to arcane user.
You leave the books and the studying with John, set out and find Hoffrey tinkering away with the cart. He's got a a trio of statues with him helping, just like lifting up the back of the cart entirely as he tinkers underneath near the axle. But they set it down. He looks out. Corey, what can I help you with?
I'm not here to yell at you more about the schematics.
That's good to hear.
Can you be straightforward with me and cut all of the extra shit?
Of course. What is on your mind?
One of two things. I have trusted you with information and a face to a catastrophic happening. And you are a member of the Theurge, and they have been trying to find me. I trust that you don't intend... Can I trust that you won't intend to do anything nefarious with that information?
You're worried that I'll make the trek over to Castle Martorius and let the rest of them know.
I just need to hear your word.
Well, that should be easy enough to give. For what it's worth, if I were to go to Martorius and he found out that I hadn't instantly reported all of this, well, it wouldn't do me any good either.
I guess we'll both be on the burning pile then.
That's never been Martorius' style. It's more the Imperium, but there are things worse than death.
Agreed.
You have my word, Corey. I'm not gonna turn any of you in.
Right. Next question.
Oh, there's multiple.
Yes.
All right. We're gonna pause for a moment as he talks to some
This
of the
one,
constructs around him and
hopefully will be
sits
quick.
down.
My magic is unlike anything I have found written in any library anywhere across Terra that I have seen, including that of the sanctuaries. Have you seen anything like it?
The work with souls is not undocumented. I myself have had an interest in it. A chancellor long worked on the subject. Your work with time, though, the stasis that you've put on the souls of yourself and your allies, your description of what happened back at your home, that is rather singular. I'm not certain if that is a good or a bad thing, but I would be careful with it. There is an allure always to new and powerful magics. And we arcane users often fall into it too easily and too quickly.
I'm sure you have quite the library that suggests the same.
I was a younger dwarf once, a younger mage. I've done things I'm not proud of, but I'm trying to be different. Trying to help people. And I sense a kindred spirit in you, Corellia.
She kind of like clicks her jaw back and forth under the veil. Okay. That is less than fortunate information that This is a lot bigger than us, isn't it?
I think so. If what our grinning friend believes is true, take care of them.
They take more care of me. But I'll make sure they don't die.
That would be a good thing, yes, certainly. Well, I should get back to work. And before I do, you wanna check on the progress so far?
Yes, please.
sure
Yes,
everything's up
absolutely.
to-
100%.
up to your standards.
She is already getting underneath the...
Oh, fuck, alright. Yep, lift it up, boys. It gets jacked up. And you start examining. Yeah, and in fact, the work is coming along nicely. Starts explaining a full Mordenkainen's magnificent mansion would be too much stress on materials used for the wagon here, but I believe that you'll be happy nonetheless. You'll have to stock it with food every day, but
That's
there are
easy enough.
a few additions in there that are according to the schematics.
Appreciate you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you spend some time walking through, making sure everything is up to your
My
request.
demands.
Yeah,
I
your
told
demand.
you the shelf needed to be 12
Ugh.
feet across.
I'm telling you, that's not gonna work. If we want the apothecary and the physician's office and the workshop, we need to cut some corners.
Fine. Fine. You're the pro.
Thank you. I am.
Alright. That is all I needed to do. It was the answer that I had assumed was coming, so, Yep. I'm gonna go, sit quietly somewhere for a little while.
Yeah.
And not think.
Corey goes off, rests. What do the rest of you get up to?
I just want to check. I think at the very end of last session we decided that I gave Corey my rifle, so that it could be
Yeah,
magic.
Corey is now fiddling with the rifle.
Okay, cool. Just double checking.
Yeah. Outside on the lawn on like a blanket. It's got pieces and is taking things apart. And...
Kane is still sitting by the pond playing the banjo and will not stop until he is interrupted. He doesn't do a lot unless people interact with him.
Gotcha.
Did you always know how to play the banjo? Or was that just something you got with being creepy? She is, like, taking apart the rifle at the same time.
Doing great.
Kane just, like, looks at you. Define creepy.
That's what you got from that sentence.
Well, I don't know. I think the way the banjo, like, twangs in my brain reminds me of, getting, you know, dragged into a swamp or something. I don't know why.
That is a interesting way to put that.
I have a very active imagination.
Well, if you must know, a couple of people at the Order sort of taught me how to play. A few of us knew how to figure that stuff out.
Kane, do you want to give me a performance check?
Yeah. Yes, I do. So much.
See how today's performance is going.
The 17.
Yeah, pretty goddamn good.
That's pretty fucking good!
Yeah, you're kind of Playing like fire.
Look, I know that technically I don't have proficiency in this, but I have been playing for about 50 years.
You will earn proficiency, I think. Offered kindly. You know, I bet Dandon would love to listen to you play. The child. The little
I know which
golden one that
they-
stabbed you.
I am well aware of the one that stabbed me.
Multiple times, actually. We all kind of just stood and watched it happen.
Does that happen a lot, or am I?
We kind of let her do what she wants. She has had a long while, so on his own, so.
You're putting that in backwards. And he just points at the gun while you're working on it.
Well, if you can tell by the actual sizing of this specific piece, you would see that it is switchable. Because
Nah.
it is a nut, and that is how they work.
You're putting it in backwards.
I'm surprised this is in as good condition as it is. How old is it?
Shoot, I don't know how old it was when I got it, but I've had it for the whole time I've been around, so about 50 years.
It's in immaculate condition.
Thank you. I take good care of it.
So there is pride in there somewhere.
You say like I don't have anything in there.
Well, I did get a little peek-see into your brain, so yeah, kind of.
And just shrugs. To be fair, it's my soul. I was used to it. So anything weird I wouldn't have really noticed.
You watch as Corey takes out this very impressive-looking quill, and she spins it in her hand. A small puff of steam comes from it, and it turns into like an etching tool. And she pulls a thread from her chest, and it like snakes into the tool as she starts to etch runes into the sides of the whole length of the barrel.
Bullshit.
And just gonna kind of keep watching.
Has it just been you and that gun? This one? These ones. These guns. You and the guns and the medallions of people you've slaughtered.
For a time, I guess you are very good at asking questions, aren't you?
I am a researcher. That's kind of what we do.
Fair enough. Yes, it's just been the three of us. And he like points at the guns. Or that's four, I guess.
Do they have names?
No, we've already been over this. They don't need names.
I made John name his weapons.
When I asked John what the weapons' names were, he said, "We don't talk about this one," and then said he would figure out the other ones. I think that was verbatim.
It's a process, but he is naming them.
Mine don't need names.
Why?
They're perfect just the way they are. Please do not name my
Legend.
weapons.
Legends are titled, aren't they?
Sure.
Like heroes throughout time. Given a term like the champion or things like that, right?
Seems a little superfluous. The actions should speak for themselves.
Do you know what that word means?
Yeah, let's think about that. Does Kane know what that means?
Go to give me an intelligence check.
I'll give you
She questioned him too quickly.
15.
Hey!
I have a +0. I know what superfluous means. I feel like you don't give me quite enough credit.
I feel like you probably don't know how to read.
Kane just like stops. I have done fine without.
So that is a yes.
Yes, that is a yes.
Don't worry, I won't force you to try and do anything like I do to Dandon. I only do it to
Thank
Dandon
you.
because she wants to learn how to do what I do, and that takes a lot of math.
Ed and Eddie never used math.
Except for the one guy who did all the math.
Double D did all of the math!
Yeah, what do you mean?
So we only need one person who needs to know how to do math. The rest of us don't.
Corey.
And it's Corey.
Technically, it's
yourself.
Corey and Hoffrey now, if he doesn't die.
Blade yourself.
Until we leave. Then it's just you.
Until we leave.
You just triggered a death flag.
Yeah. Bursting through the walls.
Kool-Aid man, let's go.
Corey rapid fire puts the gun back together.
Secundade man.
It's Secundade.
Someone needs to make that a shirt.
Okay, if you can
Just
draw it.
a really bad cropped picture of the Secundo image on the Kool-Aid man's body.
To all our patrons listening, you know what you must do.
If you ever want to learn how to read, or if you want me to read you a bedtime story, let me know. I've turned over a new leaf. I'm supposed to be a good person now.
That's interesting.
Yeah, Blake, what do you... I thought he was gonna be like, roll an insight check. It's supposed to be...
Danya doesn't tend to pick people who are fully good. We prefer to stick to the morally gray. In case you haven't noticed.
Once upon a time, I would have believed that morality was a baseline for instruction, and the passionate could go further. But where does the line become when you stop letting morality and ethics be its guide? So, I'm currently struggling with that one, and she like slots the gun back together, and a glimmer of this same cobalt energy that seems to roil around her whenever she's casting magic shines up the gun before the gun seals back to normal. One down. I won't be able to do the same for your pistol. I'm sorry. I figured the rifle was more important.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Well,
I would like to examine the gun and make sure it's put back together correctly.
I swear to God,
Go to give me an investigation check.
I am the smartest person in the party.
7. I'm
There are some
distracted by how shiny it is.
It's very shiny. Are there any other like additions or signs of like the magical enchantment upon this Corey?
It's really just if Cain were to like slot a bullet in, the barrel will glow. Now, so, but aside from that, when it's an idle, it is doing nothing.
Yeah, it looks better than it's ever looked. You see a few things that look slightly different, and on a 7, you're looking at it, you're like, oh, so that's how that screws in there.
How dare you?
It very like minor adjustments overall, though it is largely identical, save for the magical enchantment that's now upon it. And what is the enchantment again?
It
Corey?
is repeating shot.
There you go.
And the ammo now counts as magic.
It's not always going to glow. Shut the fuck up, Geo.
You know what else glows? The end of the barrel of a rifle when you pull the trigger, Geo.
That is true.
So I don't think it really matters. If it glows, then.
That is my last infusion. So
Gotcha.
it is returning weapon for John's hammer, and it is repeating shot for Kane's rifle.
Okay.
That means I don't waste
We
ammo
love
when I shoot it,
artificers.
right?
Yes, it does not cost ammo anymore. You just need to slot a bullet in the chamber, and you don't need to actually fire the weapon.
As long as you got a bullet.
And it will repeat the type of ammo that you put in it. So if you like purchase walloping ammunition, I'm pretty sure it will make walloping ammunition
Nah.
every single time.
So if I put silver
it
bullets
just
in there,
generates mundane ammo.
But it's a
Yeah,
magic
I think
weapon
so.
now, so you don't need to use silver
It's
bullets.
magical mundane ammo.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it
So I
doesn't.
thought I copied whatever type of bullet you put in it.
No, it makes
We're
the
not
weapon
gonna
magical.
run
Plus
into
one.
another golem situation, however.
For the low cost of one
This
infusion.
is huge. Yeah.
all right.
But that's it.
You get
I'm
so much
done.
savings
I'm
on
tapped. That
bullets.
is the whole reason I took 2 levels of artificer.
Dude, bullets are expensive as fuck. You just save so much gold.
I have so many bullets. I have mostly bullets.
For
You
your
will never-
other firearms that are not your sniper,
Ah,
Yeah,
nah.
those are
your rifle, pardon me, you've got lots of ammo for those now.
cool.
One of the best infusions.
I'm sorry if I put anything in the wrong spot.
Yeah, it's
Or-
not like anything's wrong. It's just like slightly different from like how you had it. And you're like,
I didn't quite
It's like, you know,
screw something
yeah,
in just
yeah.
tight enough.
it's like when someone else like drives your car. It's like, oh, my mirrors, my seat. I have to make some adjustments here.
If you need to adjust it in any way, let me know in case you damage the infusion.
All right.
Also, I might need to put it in a flask of different types of material for a little while to make sure it stays. That's what I had to do with the hammer, but that might be because of the amount of bloodshed it sees.
Wild.
Fair.
Had to blood proof it real
Yeah,
quick.
yeah, stainless steel.
Thank you.
I've heard of Scotch
appreciate
Guard.
this.
Check this action out.
Kane. Go ahead and give me a religion check, please.
No.
No.
I was right. It's a no. That's a 7. Oh, wait, no. That's the 17. I know how to read my bullet dice.
As you are chatting and chatting? Is that the word for what's happening here?
The most we're gonna get.
Small talk.
Yeah, closest we're gonna get. As you are talking with Coralia, you feel a subtle sound in your head, familiar to you. Sounds like a knife being dragged over stone or being sharpened, perhaps. Before you hear a name whispered. Zariel.
Sorry,
is
you cut out.
upon This one.
You cut out. Could you say that again?
Because I'm whispering it.
Oh, okay.
He's getting the energy for it.
Zavriel is upon this one. Whispered. Very creepy.
Does that mean anything to me?
Go ahead and give me another religion check. The 17 was for communication.
Natural 19.
Natural 19. Yes, it does. Zavriel is an arch-seraph. Specifically, the arch-seraph of truth. Zavriel was once the librarian for the goddess Stella, one of the lost tetrarchy. Loved by scholars, truth seekers, researchers, known for an endless pursuit of fundamental truths of the universe.
Interesting.
Your eyes glazed over. Are you okay?
They
Did
do
you
that.
stop breathing for a moment? You don't really express any emotion, so I can't really tell if you're in distress.
If I'm profusely bleeding, then I'm in distress. Otherwise, I'm usually fine. Ken goes back to his banjos.
And the twangs of the banjo once more fill Hoffrey's yard. What about the rest of us? Dandin, John, Elias, what are we getting up to? How are you keeping busy during the day?
I'm studying,
Studying away.
reading about them arc serifs and whatnot.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, do you want to give me a... We could do raw intelligence. I mean, it's related to the gods, so we could do religion. Any other checks sound? I think those probably make the most sense. Investigation, I guess.
Yeah.
Hey, they're all a +0.
Oh, big goose egg.
It's
Big goose
a
eggs, eh?
big old goose egg, gang.
All right, you tell me which
Oh,
then.
but I rolled
Letter rip.
probably just raw int.
Raw
I would
int.
assume.
Mhm.
And it's an 18.
18 is very good. Good job, John.
Everyone's
Yeah,
rolling
you-
great
you
religion
make-
checks today.
Make great progress. You read.
Probably went to grade school once.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know, John. Do you do a lot of reading in your spare time?
I feel like John did, but it was mostly like news-oriented stuff. So he probably
Yeah.
didn't do a lot of like reading for pleasure. It would always
Yeah.
be for
Yeah, like you lived in Altenheim. You read the daily paper.
yeah. Make sure them them darn dirty cultists aren't coming down the mountains again.
Yeah. But yeah, you make great progress reading through the materials left behind by Corey. On an 18, you were, certainly familiar with Miklas as an Archseraph, but you are able to refresh the lessons that you perhaps once learned long ago, or the knowledge that may or may not have been known by you about the rest of the Archseraphs. So if at any time you want to call upon that knowledge, let me know. It's now jogged for you. And I think it was agreed that you were not diving into the Archfiends, correct?
Not quite yet.
Not quite yet. But you are well versed once more in the Archseraphs.
Elias is just similarly doing research after his talk with Hoffrey in the morning. He's just kind of, whenever Hoffrey is free, exchanging notes and research on the beast, as well as our current situation.
Yeah, Hoffrey, in fact, talks with you for a little while, Elias, was taking a break. You see that he hands over several packages of notes, but also supplies, vials, different alchemical ingredients, as well as various herbs, and he explains, like we talked about, I think pursuing a medicinal treatment for the beast's affliction. Well, that's more your wheelhouse than mine, so if you could continue to research this further, I've gathered a variety of possible treatments. Work with them, record the results. There's some samples in there that you can test them upon. And when next we meet, friend, we'll compare notes again, and who knows? Maybe we'll finally make some headway on this.
I'm sorry that we've had to ask you much in a short period of time, but I appreciate everything you've done.
To be honest, it's good to have a little bit of excitement again in my It's been too long. Working with my staff alone is, well, it can grow a bit lonely.
It's good to see that fire that you have in your eyes.
It's good to feel it as well. As for your collective condition, 3 to 6, I'm gonna trust you, Elias, will keep a careful eye on everyone. Matter of fact, and you see he hands over a scroll as well that has a modified detect magic for detect souls.
Mm.
You can share this with Coralia, anyone else perhaps, but I think it would do you well to routinely observe, make certain that the flames of your soul are burning bright still.
I will. This spell does. It is not too harmful to use, is it? No side effects.
None that I've ever observed or detected, and I've used it myself for many years now. Mechanically, it is just detect magic, but you see souls instead.
Understood.
Very well. I should see to the wagon again. That friend of yours is quite exacting.
Yes.
What about Dandon? What are you getting up to?
Oh, well, Dandon just got to test out some cool new magic, and now everybody else is reading and working on stuff and playing banjos. And at the moment, that's all just kind of boring. So Dandon is going to do what any teenager does, and Dandon's snooping around the wizard tower.
Yeah. So, first floor, like so, right? The forge that you were worked in not too long ago. There's also, looks like a little like shop essentially, where some magic items are sold. You're not really sure, how many people come here to buy shit. Who really knows about Hoffrey and his shop? But plenty of magic items here. And then upstairs, right, there was all the rooms, the endless rooms, or, there's always one more. There's that training room. There's Hoffrey's room.
Well, I definitely start off just like in the forge area, just like looking at all the cool shit.
So much cool shit.
And then eventually, though, because everybody's outside or downstairs, Dandon will probably make their way, not with any intention, but just see another cool room, and it's probably Hoffrey's room.
You, as you're wandering around upstairs, you see Hoffrey's room and wander in. Are you trying to do so stealthily?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and give me that stealth check, because there are, in fact,
some
statues upstairs.
Statues doing statue things.
Uh-huh.
That's okay. I rolled okay, but I'm gonna use my inspiration. That's a lot better. That's going to come out to a 27.
Ooh. Can I crit? The answer is no.
The box
Level
says
5.
no.
You slip inside Hoffrey's room undetected. You see the room in here, larger than most of the other rooms. Pretty well furnished bed. See a chest in the corner. There's like a nice plush-looking couch against one wall. Several tables with a bunch of notes, manuscripts, journals, pens everywhere.
Mhm.
Pretty well lived in. A fireplace in the corner, not currently burning. You see there's a little tub off in one corner.
Is this also like his? Is this like his personal library as well?
Yeah,
in
yeah.
here?
You see several bookshelves, bookcases everywhere. You see actually on one wall, like above several of his desks, you see that there is a large painting of a much younger Hoffrey, as well as several other individuals. You see a beautiful young elven woman. You see a very stern-looking human, and you see the skeletal form with a body of someone you would recognize as the Chancellor.
Oh. Oh, they were doing like adventuring things. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, you see a burly Goliath,
Yeah.
draped with animal skins.
Because I truly am just snooping at this point. I just will kind of just see like what his immediate notes are that he's been looking at on his desk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, most immediate notes then. Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
You got it, boss. Oops. What have I done? I broke it. There we go. I'm gonna give myself guidance on this roll. 13.
13. First, you find some of Hoffrey's personal musings on what he, the primary research interest of his for the last couple hundred years, really, that of the beast. Right? It's a lot of what he has talked about with Elias, right? Of his theory that the beast's corruption is so absolute and devastating because it corrupts the soul of the individual that it touches. You see some notes about potential trials for remedies, lots of X's drawn through different possible treatments suggested. But then you also see some it written in the margins, reminder, place 2k gold on upcoming fight at Caer. I got a good feeling about the stone.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they'd be wrestling there.
Oh, he just has fuck you money.
Yeah. He's a old ass wizard, of course he does. Looking I get curious about this and start just kind of peeking through. Is there any I know I rolled a 13, but in this stuff about his dealings with the beast, is there any subjects, listings of who people were before they were tainted and stuff like that?
Oh yeah. Yeah, you see there are lots. Hoffrey has, he pays people to collect remains from the beast, or he sends out some of his staff to collect them. And there's plenty of notes in there of This used to be a farmhand. The beast was sighted, turned
Sure.
into this monstrosity or aberration.
Anything
Uh,
about the beast? The beast hasn't ranged as far as the Imperium, right? It's only
and
been.
you see in here as well, there is like a map
Mhm.
with like plenty of pins in
Sure.
beast sightings. It seems to be primarily. Let's sit back over here for a moment. Primarily ranging in the Burok Empire.
And just
Rowland especially,
okay.
but has been spotted as far north as Nordenland.
Okay.
Has also been spotted as far south as like the southernmost point of the Rockteeth Mountains. So
Okay.
like getting pretty close to Charnot.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah,
Does he
this half a Terra.
Does he have any notes on like the beast's effect on angelic blood? Or ASMR, I guess I should say, but
You don't see any like notes of relating to anything about that. No, no victims who were Asmar or. I mean, like you see some of like Hoffrey's musings about like they say that the beast is a plague sent by the divine, sent by the Archseraph or someone to punish mortal kind for their sins. So like it has this very like religious reasoning that's associated with it, but Hoffrey doesn't really buy that a whole lot.
Okay. And then just having satiated my curiosity and just peeking through those notes, I would also like to just check that wall of books, and see if he has any books that are about the Solar Imperium or from the Solar Imperium that look particularly of interest. And of interest for Dandon is truly like, I mean, Dandon doesn't read a lot, so Dandon's looking for a title that jumps out and a book that isn't super dusty.
Yeah. And you got a 13?
Yeah.
Yeah, there are a few tomes on the Imperium. You see that there's like a historical account of described as the birth of the Imperium, the unification of Castanella, the rise of Montego Valadea. You see there are books about the Inquisition, kind of like its role to play in Terran politics.
It's that.
You also yeah, and then finally you see there's like a collection of Imperium, Solar Imperium like plays, like dramas. But you snag that Inquisition tome certainly.
And just like flipping through.
What's your passive?
Passive perception? 18.
Yeah, you grab the book, start reading, and you very quickly like hear stone steps right outside the office.
Yeah.
And you feel a slight kind of vibration in the book in your hand.
Oh.
Seems like you might have tripped something.
Oh no.
And the door starts turning. Anything you're doing, Dandon?
I hide under the desk.
Yeah, you slip under the desk. Book still in hand?
Yeah.
Yeah. You slip under the desk. Give me another stealth check.
Uh, 28.
Stone statue walks into the office, looks around, walks over to the bookshelf. Looks directly at the spot where there used to be a book, turns, leaves the room.
Amazing. Yeah, I will, I don't want to steal this book from Hoffrey. I just want to read it.
Yeah.
Dandon was bored because everybody else was doing research, and Dandon is now doing his own version of research, so...
Yeah. Cool. As you're reading it, then, yeah, there's a lot of talk about the formation of the Inquisition, being founded by Montego Valadea, this, like, essentially a warlord that rose to power and wanted to unite the provinces of Castanella into this Imperium, and saw... What's that?
For Kyle's perspective,
Yeah.
as a scholar, is this book an account of the rise of the Inquisition from the point of view of the Imperium, or from the point of view of a
Historian.
outside?
Yeah,
of a
outside
historian.
historian.
Perfect.
Yeah, you see the author is attributed to a funnily enough, a dwarf living in Caer Orgrund.
Okay. Because I think if anything, based on what you're saying there, the formation and what was the warlord's name again?
I'll type it on chat. Montegos Valadea. Did I type that right? Yeah.
Montego Valadea. Cool. I would like if this book. I think if anything in this book would catch Dandon's full attention, it would be any historical record of opposition to the Inquisition, either from within or without of the Imperium.
Yeah, in the first few years, like as this rise began to take, as the Inquisition kind of became a power within the Imperium, there was certainly lots of pushback. And a lot of that was like funded and backed by the rest of Terra, right? Who do not share this view of, like the arcane is a plague, is a sin, must be cleansed by fire, must be burned away. So there was plenty of pushback. Within the Imperium, once it was founded, however, the Valadea was very ruthless in, making examples of people who were, the sympathizers.
Yeah.
They were burned alongside the witches for being, just as bad. And so it quickly became, just out of like self-preservation, unpopular to outwardly express.
That's why the only
support.
people that were in some ways actively working against them happened to be the big criminal organization.
Yes, exactly. And that's the other kind of like active player in the Imperium is the family, who were able to exert some influence, not just on their own, but like in the government itself that started to rise through their connections there.
Dandon will read as much of this as they can before slipping out, putting the book back on the shelf, and scuttling away. And I'll go back to the room that I've been staying in, and I will once again, I will reach out to dear old Choom. Choom, I've got a question.
Yes, Dandin. How can I help you?
Okay. So we're all like weird and soul bonded and stuff, and I think I kind of understand how that works now.
Excellent.
Has no idea still.
I'm glad to hear our talk earlier was so beneficial, so helpful for you.
And you go, yeah, whatever. So I remember. So Miss Corey said that that she was able to share some of your magic a
Yes.
little bit. Do you have anything? Do you have can you send a message to really far away?
Of course, Dandin. Of course I can do this.
Can you help me do that?
Yes, of course. Who do you wish to contact? And what do you wish me to say?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but when Mr. When Mr. Fortunato got in contact with me, he said that divination spells like sending were not getting through to our to Mr. Scipiano, correct? Then
he asked you to, make contact with someone else in the family, maybe, and maybe they have a way of doing it.
So then I would like to, because I don't think I doubt Mr. Fortunato knew about the other people that were necessarily on the ship aside from the crew. I would like to try and send a message to the Dwarven Magister that was on the ship with us, who escaped the ship with Mr. Scipiano.
Yes. I love you, Kyle.
It's like, what the fuck?
And Dandin did hear her name at some point, but Kyle did not write it down. The only other name from the ship that I have is Rafina, and I don't think that's who that was.
1 second. Oops. Make sure I give you the right name here. Magister Furiona. Let me type that thing. Oops. Wait, can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. So yeah, I would like to try and send a message to Magister Furiona.
All right. Yeah, we can do this. Just so you know, you'll be the one sending the spell. Yes.
Yeah,
I'll just
that's
give
okay.
you access to it. So, let me know when you're ready for me to connect it this way.
Okay.
All right.
Let's do it.
Let's keep cracking.
Yeah.
All right. I've been told that my presence can be a bit overwhelming, so brace yourself.
That's okay. If you stay too long, you'll get burned.
And you see the looming skull of Choom manifesting in your head before a connection is formed.
Yeah.
And I need you to go ahead and give me an intelligence saving throw.
Weirdly, I am proficient in those.
Nice.
That's an 18.
18.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are able to focus on the task at hand, right? Of like, all right, I need this sending spell to send a message to Magister Furiona, and that focus is very good. It prevents your mind from wandering into Choom's and risking any side effects or burnout because of that. And the sending spell is shared with you in this moment. What message do you send?
I say, hi, I was on the ship. If you're still with Scipiano, tell him Merencia needs the family. fucking asshole's name. Pemberton made deal with Imperium. City is compromised. Do I have any words left?
Five.
The family has to know.
Message sent. Message is sent. Last time you remember you were contacted by sending a reply was forthcoming. This time that is not the case. But the spell has sent.
Got it. Okay. Like, I just sit there and go, okay. Would we be able to know if, like, I'm talking to Chum, it's like,
Yes.
if she didn't get that, would we have known?
Yes, I think we would have felt, it hit a bit of a wall,
Okay, so she just
The read receipts are on.
she just doesn't have to respond to us.
Yes,
Okay.
she might also be taking some time to respond and just
Okay.
not doing it to meet me in the moment.
Okay, how does that work? Like, does it just send back the next words that she says no matter what? So she just has to clam up until then? Or?
My understanding is that she designates,
Okay.
a response of like, all right, I shall choose to answer in this manner.
Okay. Thank you, Chum.
Yes.
Also, you look like you were, well, it looks like you guys had fun when you had a body.
Who have you been talking to?
I saw a cool painting.
That's BC.
I visualized the painting in my head.
Ah, yes, the good old days. Man, Latarius is in this photo, or in this
Oh.
painting.
Which one was he?
Yeah, he's the smug-looking human.
Oh,
Tell me, is there a quill at hand in there?
I
might
mean, there
need
was a
you to
lot of
make-
stuff.
I might need you to make a slight alteration.
Just go. I mean, I could probably sneak back in there, but I was already almost caught once.
Come on.
Okay.
I helped you out, eh?
Yeah,
Help-
that's fine.
Help a skull out.
Am I putting a
help
mustache
help
on
your
him?
Shroom out. Yes. At the very least. And
How
I'll
about
leave
a mu-
any further alterations up to your imagination.
How about a mustache and a unibrow?
Ooh, now we're talking.
I will go put a mustache and a unibrow on Martorius.
Awesome. Yeah, you vandalize the painting and manage to escape just in time as you hear now walking up the stairs the statue with Hoffrey in tow.
I just
Whistling, you walk away.
all right. I'm done being a terror.
Awesome. Anyone else? Is there anything you'd like to do or take care of during this small period of downtime before your wagon is ready to go?
Can I find that? Did I see the book that Hoffrey showed everyone when we first got here? The one that Chum left him out of.
Oh, yeah, you never saw the book. Oh, sorry, the title. Yes. Yes, you know what it is. Where the fuck? It's some long academic title. Control F.
Control
I love
F.
academic titles. They're so
Control
good.
F. Where the fuck?
Control. Where the fuck?
One moment here. Here we go. Eschatological Soul Manipulation and Transposition, a brief primer. By the Chancellor,
God, he
Caer
was
Pravia.
getting ready
and
to
all of
fucking
Undergaze.
submit it to a journal. That title. Really.
I'm gonna.
It's only
Is
a
it? Where
premise.
is it at?
So, and then it was published by the Thayerge Press.
Yeah.
Their in-house publisher.
Ugh.
Where is it at?
Yeah.
The book, you assume it's probably in Hotfree's library. He has a few. Like, there's several bookshelves, like in the workshop, for example. You never saw it while you were in the workshop, though, so it's probably, like, in his personal collection.
No. Convince him to give it to me later.
You don't want to sneak into his library?
No, because you just fucked that over.
Yeah, as you head down the stairs,
I'm
First
like
come, first
standing
serve.
in the like walk-in area, like John sitting, taking notes and whatnot. Corey's thinking, and Dandon just comes down the stairwell.
Snickering.
yeah.
Big grin on their face. Shifty eyes.
What did you get into?
Nothing. I
Did
was
you get
doing some
anything
reading.
cool?
I was just reading.
Mm-hmm.
Look, and I pull out the math book, and I actually have like not a sticky note, like a little bookmark, and it's definitely a little bit further into the book.
Huh. Oh, well, there we go. See? It's not that bad.
It's horrible.
Hey, you could have had to deal with, monitored study. I'm not nearly as bad as my teachers were.
I don't know. Dandon's gonna say some really insensitive sorcerer bullshit here really quick, but it's like, I mean, it just seems so silly to have to like do equations and stuff to be able to do magic. I mean, and I just start doing this, and like sacred flames start going out. It's like, this just has always happened to me. I can't like math this to go away. It like happens all the time.
Maybe you could math it to go away if you studied the math.
I really don't think so.
Thank you, John. It's like that's what I'm trying to teach you from the beginning.
I've had to like really try hard to think just to turn it off. But it's really about like concentration. I don't know. It's weird. I'm just saying I appreciate how hard it is
Pause.
for you
Hey.
and Hoffrey to
Hey,
learn
hey.
magic.
Listen. Since we started making you do math and reading and learning about things and whatnot across the world, have you gotten better at magic?
I mean, I've gotten some cool new stuff, but the most recent cool new stuff came from the joining of all of our souls.
Well, that one aside.
And the only other significant thing is I can do this now, and I just shoot a magic missile.
See? It helps.
I mean, I just thought about doing it and it happened.
Corelia walks over and ruffles their hair. Sometime in the future, you're going to think back on this conversation, and you're going to realize that I'm right. And then I will tell you I told you so. And then she kisses his forehead.
Alright. I was just trying to say that I appreciate how difficult it is to like have to read equations and stuff.
I appreciate that you recognize the effort that I am putting forth.
I just catch on fire sometimes.
And I just control time sometimes. So, you know, 2 peas in a pod.
Okay. What you reading, John? Desperate to move on.
No, I'm reading about the arch seraphs.
Ooh. Touchy subject. Okay. I'm gonna go. What's that music? I'm gonna go outside. Bye.
There is never any reading or math where Cain is, ever. It's like a
love
void.
this.
It's
I love
safe.
this. The cool uncle. We love this.
Dandon, your head
Yeah.
begins to hum,
Oh.
and a voice speaks it inside. Whoever you are, message received. Family knows. Where are you? Cipiano wants to know.
Oh boy.
I'm just not gonna out loud. So I'm not going to respond to that one.
You're
I
too-
look-
That's a good call.
Yeah. I look around at everybody. I say, "Good news! I have good news. The family, or Mr. Cipiano at least, has been informed of the situation in Morencia.
Important.
So we're cooking with gas. Mr. Cipiano apparently wants to know where we are. I don't
Don't
think.
tell him.
Yeah, probably not a good idea. Don't we have some of his stuff?
I also
He's not getting it back.
I also sealed many of his family members in a bag of holding.
Oh right, okay. You put a fairy in a bag. And a fairy in a bag in a box. I mean, she might just have suffocated in there. Do fairies need to breathe?
Yes.
I don't know how fairies work.
They have lungs. I think they need to breathe.
Okay. But yeah, so we can check that off of the list of things that definitely we needed to do because we didn't know any other members of the family, so. Nobody asked how I did it. Bye!
I think we should get as far away from this place as possible when we
Very
use that
quickly.
little circle Offers has for us.
Rapidly, yes.
If it's any consolation, she didn't know who I was.
Like 401k can wait. Or whatever it would.
Or whatever the universal equivalent.
We have so
Retirement
much
fund.
money.
My
Pension,
retirement
yeah.
pension can wait.
What do you suggest, Lon?
I think we should go get your book.
Okay.
And be on the other side of the world from that fucking robot.
What, you don't want to just go face the robot and beat him down old-fashioned style?
Listen, I know none of you have been punched by that motherfucker, but
You ready to get slammed down big style?
it's gonna be my job to pick you back up after he turns your jaw into glass.
Graphic. So across the mountains we go.
Woohoo!
I don't know where the closest teleportation circle is on the other side.
Oh boy.
Yeah, Corey, you would know very explicitly. Well, first of all, you might have had one in your home, but, you know, that's all fucked now.
Yeah.
Then the next closest for you probably would have been the main city of Pravia. You know that there is no teleporting into
Yeah.
Ravencourt. It's been thoroughly warded. It is indeed a sanctuary. So if you want to go there at all and meet Kira, you will have to do it the old-fashioned way.
Oh, well, if we go across the mountains, if we're wanting to Ravia, we're going to have to go to Purveyor first.
And remind me, in the grand scheme of the Astoyan Empire,
Yep.
What is Pravia? Because it's obviously not the capital.
Yeah, it is. So there are two provinces. There's Ravo and Soma. Soma is ruled by the Crimson Court. That's the vampire side of things, the undead,
Soma.
all of the monstrosities. That's Soma. Yes.
Okay.
And there's the Black Mire that separates it, this, endless bog of nastiness. And then to the north is the province of Ravo. This is run by Ravencourt, really. But also, the kind of like collected forces of Astoyans who do not wish to be subjects of undying, undead rulers.
I noticed there's a lot less cities in that region.
Very true.
Good thing we've got a really cool cart.
Blake, we never actually figured out where Kane's order was, did we? Or did you have an idea? Because we just said Astoya and then moved on. You can say anywhere, and I'll just agree
Yeah.
with it.
Get back to you on that one.
All right, cool.
At least
Certainly in Astoya.
at least some of Astoya is green.
Yeah, like the further east you go towards the mountains, it's not so bad. It's just like that whole west coast is fucked.
Yeah, it's just, the mountains
I like-
have other problems.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like it's green, but
It's nice.
Well, like for example, if I'm looking at the map, is Fallowheart part of Astoya or part of the Grey Spine?
it would technically be part of Astoya. It's kind of like the last city before you hit the Grey Spine proper.
Okay. And there's
Yeah.
Lunsk. So,
Yeah.
are you're saying we teleport to this blah blah place and then we just like walk, or do we have to take a boat or something, or
No.
swim?
We would be walking.
Isn't the sanctuary
Yeah,
on like
to the
an island?
sanctuary you'll have to.
Yes, to the
there-
sanctuary,
there-
yes.
yeah.
Boat.
There, once a year, there is a ferry essentially that goes across carrying new converts to, and carrying them back. But that's like a once a year thing. Other than that, no one. The Ravencourt Sanctuary is surrounded by mist, even more like treacherous than like the misty reefs of Marencia, because there are rumors of monstrosities in the sea and the air that ensure that Ravencourt remains a sanctuary. Because again, as like the chief opposition to Soma, to the Crimson Court, there have been plenty of attacks against it, and nothing has gotten through. Corey.
Just because I not only hail from the island, but also went back.
Yeah.
Could we assume that my friend that is on the island is the one who probably got me in there the first?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah,
if I
so
can...
if you want to like communicate with your friend, then you can maybe
I
work something out.
think I have sending now because of that new spellbook.
Look at that.
Hold. That I stole blatantly.
Theft.
It's not stealing, you're just copying,
It's not stealing. It's just
Repurposing.
plagiarism.
Yeah, exactly.
Isn't that the one she actually stole from someone by enthralling them and walking out of the building with it?
Uh-huh.
That one was straight stealing.
Look, she was gonna give it back if they ever ask, after she's copied them all.
No,
Surely.
I wouldn't have. It's mine. They shouldn't have let their guard down. And the funny part is that they actually didn't, but she just told them that they did.
Wild.
Scrolling. I actually, the closest thing that I have access to is message, so negative. Unless our dear Hoffrey Ghost Forge has a scroll that I can copy into my skin.
I mean, yeah.
Just ask June.
Terrifying.
No, because every time I ask Choom, I slowly die.
It just gets weird.
And he gets weird. I don't want him to think that I need him.
You can.
You do.
You can.
No, it's gonna make him arrogant.
I've certainly heard of that before. The people hate me, but they need me. No, you can absolutely copy sending. Just pay the price.
Yeah.
With
we have plenty of money.
Yes.
It's 50 gold per spell level?
Yeah.
So it's 150 gold.
Subtract that, and you can add sending.
Would you like me to take that out of the 10,000 gold?
No, Corey has plenty of money.
Okay. It'd be weird for him to give us 10,000 gold and then for us to pay him 150 of it back immediately.
He needs money to bet on wrestling.
Yeah, he does need money to bet on dwarven wrestling.
How much profit do you think we can make with that?
The quadruple UE.
Stone's gonna win tonight, I just know it.
Has Stone ever won?
What?
He's due,
Stone
that's why.
wins every time.
He's the
20% of the time.
You always gotta vote for the underdog. Vote. Bet.
Oh, that's why you gave us money.
Yeah, I will, the little Corey finds a piece of parchment and starts, one of the little spiders pops off of her glove and, goes up into her, glove and begins etching, sending onto her skin, bit by bit.
Pretty gnarly.
Yeah, that's how her spells work.
Yeah, you even see Hoffer's just like, well, yeah, I guess that's one way to do it.
Well, when you cast magic through people's souls, this is just kind of one of the other steps to it.
Right. Huh? Well, perhaps,
I'm joking, it's because I keep lighting my spellbooks on fire.
that makes more sense. You gotta start using stone tablets. That's where it's at.
I'm not. She lifts her teeny tiny little arms and just.
How do you think I got these beauties? Mwah, mwah.
I like Hoffrey. Wizards. What's this? I hold up a magical marble that I won from a dwarven youth.
Do you want to give an Arcana check?
I can,
Corey?
yeah, sure.
He went for Choom, or not Choom, for Hoffrey. Well, if you beefed it, he did not.
26.
Corey doesn't beef intelligent checks.
All right. This is when I scroll to my document, the part that's labeled random ideas. And I note the random bullet marble from the Dwarven Child. Corey, you and Hoffrey at the same time just say Storm Sphere. There is a Storm Sphere spell contained inside.
Oh,
Be careful with that.
So when you use that bullet, a Storm Sphere will activate.
And
When
be
it
careful
hits.
with that one. Save that for an important moment, like us dealing with Secundo.
Yeah.
Sounds fun.
Or you could let me have it and I could pull the magic from it.
No, I want it.
That's valid.
I think no one is asking the most important question. Why is there a storm sphere in a marble?
Well, I won it from a kid in Denwald, because we played for keepsies, and this was his best one, and he gave it to me, and I could tell immediately it had magic in it.
It certainly does. I guess.
I think it's probably a really good thing that it never was set off while
yeah,
they were
exactly.
playing marbles.
That's what I'm thinking, right? It's, if you use that, there's a decent chance that, you shoot it and zap.
Well, it's probably a good thing. I mean, he must not have ever used it for dropsies, so I think everything's good.
I mean,
Yeah, that would have been.
It's a pretty marble, yeah.
Mhm.
Come to
And you
think
see,
of
yeah,
it,
the storm just
yeah.
surging inside. Yeah, very nice to look at. Very pretty marble.
Come to think of it, I think he just bet this one. I don't think he actually used it.
He did not, yeah. This
Yeah.
was just like his prize piece.
Oh, I'm gonna use it.
Ugh. Corey
On what?
stares at the marble and just, that's actually a really good idea. And she, another little spider comes out and she starts jotting things across
Write
like
it down,
her
write it
forearm. Like, that's actually a really good idea.
So it's Storm Sphere at its level, at 4th
Yeah.
level?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Gross.
Zip zap zooey.
You should go talk to the man playing the banjo. And I say that to Dandon.
Okay.
Raleigh, I noticed you finished copying that spell, but Hoffrey told me to give this to you.
Ooh,
And it
another
gives you-
spell.
Detect magic, detect souls.
Yeah.
Ooh, detect souls. Can I also copy this one, Dad?
You can copy that as well, yes.
Corey's like, oh, I need more skin.
I mean, it's functionally the same as Detect Magic, just add a couple bits to that one.
I do already have detect magic on my stuff. Let's tell us.
There's just
Modifications. Yeah,
there's just an
gotta-
addendum.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
like a note.
Oh yeah.
Change this
a footnote.
formula.
She like you watch as she like at her
Ow.
shoulder pulls the like magic from it, like the sigil that's there, and then begins to pull at it, and the like runes change before she snaps it into a thread again, and the spider goes back and starts putting it back on the shoulder. Wizard shit.
This fucking sphere is wild.
Storm Sphere?
Yeah.
I'm so excited to see that happen.
It's like an underused spell, so I'm glad.
Blake
I'm
is the
glad you
king of
give that as a
underused
consumable.
spells.
There's so many good spells.
There is.
There's so many underrated
Yeah.
spells.
There's
Have
so
you
many
guys-
spells.
Have you guys thought about using the 6th level spell from Mordenkainen's, the spell called Scatter, on instead of your allies, but instead your foes?
Yeah. That's hilarious. I love the idea of getting to use Scatter and just be like, the large burly man has decided to threaten my wizard. Well, hello, have another large burly man. Cool. Dandon goes to listen to Kane speak banjo.
What?
You know what now we're doing, huh?
What the fuck?
He'll be speaking banjo, eh?
You're not no more.
Just talk to the banjo.
No, it's okay. I know you're a little shy, but we gotta do this together.
Let's go, Idaho. I want to travel. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
We've done our piece, Blake.
We got the RP out.
As the hours roll by, and evening eventually arrives, Hoffrey summons you all to show off what he has finally accomplished. Your newly acquired, rather mundane wagon appears, externally at least, unchanged. Stepping inside, however, you see that the dwarven Theurge has done it again. Similar to his own house. And the training room you were in hours ago, the space inside is far larger than it should be. Your newly kitted out cart has this modified and permanent Mordenkainen's magnificent mansion bound to it. So while it cannot stock food permanently on its own, right? We're not having feasts every night. You still need to buy shit. And it's perhaps a little bit smaller than that spell would otherwise be. Offrey describes it as being self-sustaining. Apparently, it should be able to use the motion of the cart and tap into the ley lines of magic as you travel to maintain this spell perpetually.
Hoffrey's humble havershack.
Ooh. Beautiful. I'm typing that right now.
New spell created. It's in the books.
God damn.
What a weaver of words Jacob is.
So
Truly, thank you. He also points out, inside, we've got rooms for all, certainly, but in order to meet your particular needs, he points out there's like a forge and tinkering workshop for Corey and for Dandon to play around in. There's an alchemist's workstation, a physician's office, apothecary supplies, and all the accoutrement needed to practice your advertised professions on the outside of the cart. And in fact, Dandon, your art on the side has been brought back to the fullness of its life. It's no longer just chalk. It is advertising in whatever glorious style you want it to. He was able to talk with you a little bit during the day, make sure that it's just perfect. And it's been enchanted so that it's not gonna dull, it's not going to get scuffed. This is going to remain in tip-top shape as long as
My
the art
personal
exists.
contribution, aside from that, is a flip sign, because I had him put under on part of it, the doctor is, and then I have a little flip sign that says in and out, and we can hang it on the side of the cart.
Excellent. Amazing.
Kane just
Uh,
looks at all of you. Which one of you is supposed to be a doctor?
Point at John, and then I point at Elias, and then I
Elias is
point at
literally-
John,
John
and then I
is-
point at Elias.
Elias is literally a surgeon.
Good to know.
Literally.
I can heal people too, and I can make potions.
And I can give you basic grade stimulants.
I can also technically heal people.
We're doing great!
Got a lot of technically
Yeah.
healers. Technically, maybe a doctor.
I mean, I can't make
Maybe a
potions,
doc.
but I can make like poultices and stuff. You can't drink them. Well, you could probably drink them, but they don't taste very good. You probably you just want to put them on the wound.
You can, but you shouldn't.
Yeah. I mean, I think they still work if you drink them. It's just it's not great. It's
Not
very bitter.
Hoffrey looks at you all. What do you think?
This is so cool.
Thank you, Offrey.
Yeah, Vel, I know you posted it to me, but do you want to share the art of like
Sure.
the vibe inside
Show us.
for everyone else?
I have to see if I still have it, but I'll
Yeah.
save it from where I
I
saved
have to
it.
see if I still have it.
Yeah, and like during downtime when we're resting the cart, you can all describe your rooms more in detail than if you want to think about it
Yay.
for a little
It's
while.
bigger in the inside.
Classic wizard shenanigans.
We love classic wizard shit.
We cannot ever leave this cart anywhere.
No, this is ours.
What do you mean it doesn't fall into a suitcase?
D&D players have a bad habit of leaving carts and horses places and never going back for them.
Can
I
we take the
decided-
cart through the teleportation circle?
Yes.
So that's the question.
Of course it do.
Oh,
I decided to take the elements from Elias's teapot.
so cool.
It's very homey on the inside. People will find it quite comforting as they lie bleeding. Or, you know, writhing in whatever other agony they're brought into a physician's office for.
The cart will be able to fit. Teleportation circle is 10 feet for the radius of the circle, and your cart is 10 feet, so
Woo!
we're good.
Nice.
It'll be snug, but
Feel a little tight.
Joffrey, very well. Sounds like you've all got plenty of business to see to, so I won't keep you hostage here any longer. Watch out for each other out there. After our little exercise, I'm confident that your souls have indeed bonded, and they are more potent than ever. You should have the time you need to find a more permanent solution, but I still wouldn't dally. The sooner you find an answer, the better.
Okay. So we're going to Astoria?
So,
Wait, you're... Oh, right,
What
you're
time-
going.
what time of year does that happen again? The little ferry. We don't happen to be close, do we?
Dead of winter.
In no world.
I might be able to alleviate that problem. But we'll have to get to Provea first.
So, here's a question: if we're going through it, if we're going from a circle to a circle, is the place that we're gonna come out of gonna care that we're bringing a big ass cart with us?
Maybe we should send somebody else ahead then to warn them. I'll
Corey,
go.
I was gonna say, Corey, you know that the teleportation circle is. You've only been in this person's office a few times.
Oh no.
Their reputation precedes them. Corey keeping up, rubbing shoulders with movers and shakers of many different places. You will be teleporting to the office of the Masked Lady. I think that's what she's called. Sorry, pardon me, that's Avatar, the Masked Lady. The Lady of Masks. Mira Talson. Lady Talson. The First Minister of the Ravo Republic. A mage of considerable power, has close connections and relations with the Raven Court Sanctuary, with the Mother Superior, likely with Caer Adrith.
Can I possibly alleviate this problem by casting a large reduce on the cart?
Ooh.
Let me look up the wording. Large reduce. So it could be, it's just a tart. If it's a creature, it's that. Or it could be an object. It's neither worn nor carried. We're good. Yeah, you can shrink this cart.
Ha 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 ha. What is the size? Would it be considered a large?
Yeah, it would be large, so it'll go down to medium. So
Okay.
it'll go down to a 5-foot cart.
Well, we should probably should still call ahead.
You see that. You see. Give me a history check, Corey.
25.
25. Slight complication to all of this. In addition to being First Minister, Lady of Masks, Mir Tolson is a Theurge member.
Fuck! Shit! Balls! Damn it!
Is there any way that my temple of shitty necromancers would have a teleportation circle in it?
Oh.
A completely abandoned temple.
You know what? Yeah, roll a d20. Let's see how how competent this order was.
Some of them were real competent.
On a 1 through a 10, no. On an 11 through 20, yes.
Come on, buddy. 14.
Yes, you recall seeing some people step into a circle and disappearing. You also recall, like, one time when someone stepped in, you just heard, like, an awful scream. So maybe it's not, like, the best teleportation circle. It's a little bit janky, but...
Okay, well, now we've decided Kane's order is near wherever we're going.
Yeah.
That's been established.
Yeah.
I may have another... We just did. 2 seconds ago. I
That's
may
how
have
it goes
another way.
sometimes. Why am I nervous?
My order did have a similar contraption that was used to teleport people in and out. I never used it personally, but I know it was there, and it was there when I left, so it's probably still there.
We'll say, yeah, this is in Pravia as well.
Okay.
You hear Hoffrey. And where exactly is this order of yours?
Pravia, is that what we just said?
Yeah.
Pravia. Yeah, it's in Pravia.
Wow, Blake's not going to force us to walk across an entire country?
I did also specify that the order has issues with the Crimson Court, so we would not be near there.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. I was like, I was trying to decide between Ravo and Soma. I was like, wait, no, you guys fucking hate the vampires. You would definitely be in
Fuck
Ravo.
those guys.
And then, you know,
You think
Pravia
they'd be
is
in Fallowheart?
the biggest city for sure. So,
But they
So we could try that one.
I'm sure it won't be more painful than me doing it on myself.
Why don't we, is there somewhere you could send us in Grafendam?
We can just cross the mountains real quick.
Yeah, it's at least very far away and on the other side of Secunda, so it's not quite as good, but it gives us more secure options, possibly.
It will take us more time to get across the entirety of the province, though.
If we're worried about, like, security, the temple's empty. If we're worried about how good the portal works, I can go ahead and, like, make sure we don't die.
You sure about that?
I know a place in Grafendam. I also know a place in Caer. And, I mean, it's been many years since I thought of myself as a Caer dwarf, but my connections there still run true. You would be safe in Caer.
I mean, so we go into somebody's office who might potentially turn us into Martorius.
I'm sorry, you were thinking of Lady of Masks?
Well,
Though, I mean, I didn't know of any other teleportation circles.
Don't. No, Corey. If you were worried about me selling you out, you showing up in Tolson's office is...
Definite.
Don't fucking do that.
Obviously,
That's just
I'm
your
not
lie.
gonna fucking do that. Have we just... Obviously.
Okay.
that was the first thing you thought of. So it's either that, a temple where the thing might not work, or a dwarf hold where his name means something. I choose the dwarf hold where Mr. Force Ghost's name means something.
I understand that it's further, but we could, you could potentially sail the way there. But then again, you've got the cart. Let's make use of the cart, right?
Yeah.
You could take the cart, I mean, you would have to cross a little bit the gray spine, but I could see if I could maybe get you an escort.
We go down the mountains, we go to Fallowheart, and then we cross the endless expanse of Astoya. Aim for, I don't know. Dandon's like looking at a map and just looking at names on a map. It's like, see, we go to Malkovia, and then we go to the coast, and then we cross, and we call it good.
The only others.
Won't really need an escort in the mountains. I'm very familiar with the territory.
Perfect. It's nothing personal against you, Cain. It's just, from what I understand about your order, their understandings of many things, if we wanted to do that, I think we should test it with something first. Certainly.
Especially given the fact that, is your order the one who put the tattoos on your body?
Pretty sure, yeah.
Well, you have 22 extra vertebrae on your spine, by the way.
What?
And also,
Oh my god, she's right, you do.
I'm not certain that your leg bone is all just one thing.
No, they're two. It's
There's
like the
so many
arms.
more than 2 bones in the leg.
No, but it's like the arm. There's 2 main ones.
The big
Oh.
ones, yeah.
I thought you meant like the femur and.
We're talking to layman Coralia. You can't hit them with everything.
So, just based on that, I don't know.
We're a weird.
Maybe the circle still works, and maybe it just incinerates you when you step into it.
Like I said, all I've seen is people go in and out of it. And
And
There
you
was-
do have Cain, yeah.
some screaming at one point, but that wasn't that uncommon, just in general. So
What?
what?
What? Let's see.
Pass!
As an owner of a teleportation circle,
No, I meant
not
like there was.
once have I ever screamed when I stepped foot into it.
To be fair, they were screaming a lot of places. I think one of them was from the teleportation circle. I can't be sure. I was not allowed in that room. I don't
Kane,
know.
you're not making your statement better. Anyway, can you
I'm
write
just
us a
asking you-
letter so that we can safely enter the Caer? Please.
Yes, I'll see to that.
Should we still shrink the cart?
Probably.
I would.
Okay. Are we
You're not
still
gonna-
gonna be in somebody's office?
Uh,
You're not going to be in an office. No, you'll be. Well, I mean, it's a Caer, right? Their sense of scale is a little bit. I've been told. Some people think the dwarves are compensating for something, but.
Oh.
How long can you
It
maintain
shouldn't
that
be a
I-
problem if you don't. But...
I didn't have that assumption when we walked into that massive training arena.
Oh, okay. So suddenly it's not cool anymore. I
It
saw
was
all
so
of your
cool.
eyes. I saw them all. Saucers. Saucers they were.
It was really
Did
cool.
Corey
If you
say?
kill this NPC, I'm going to riot.
You see Hoffrey starts grumbling and goes off to start writing his letter of introduction.
Did Corey say Kane had 22 extra vertebrae? Because that would mean he had like 55. It's 33.
The way it looked like there was, it just was
It's like
so
half
little
hour.
in
Spine
between.
of a snake.
Sorry, I just had to look that up real quick.
No, yeah.
Alright, cool.
Unless
There's
you
so
can,
many.
Contort yourself like a serpent. I don't think you have that many vertebrae.
I can turn into a bat. Is that the same thing?
You can what?
Not even a little bit.
We're a weird group.
Oh right, Elias is the only one who saw that. That's right.
I think you're actually losing vertebrae if you turn into.
Why did you start that statement with "I think you are a bone doctor"?
Not a bone doctor for fucking bats.
Do bats have bones?
That's a bones.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mammals
absolutely,
have bones,
Of course they do.
Shumba.
Yeah. Just a tube.
They're all just pure flesh. Just Just cartilage.
That's
And
so
ligaments.
upsetting.
Just sponge.
Sponge.
It's like those little rubber bats that you can buy during Halloween.
Yeah, as Hoffrey grumbles and walks off, you see he just shouts over his shoulder, Corey, you can go ahead and start setting the circle up.
Yay. Okay.
Got the destination in mind. There's a map with coordinates.
Hell yeah.
Yay. Goody. Fun. Fantastic. This is gonna be gross. She because of her freaky magic, she pulls a thread from her own mouth. Because the last time she casted this spell, it was on herself. And it's like a string of like calculations and symbols that come from her. And she lays it in the same circle of the one that's already been etched into the floor. And it just looks uncomfortable. And it begins to make the alchemic symbol of teleportation.
Yeah, a few minutes later, Hoffrey walks in. What the fuck are you doing? It's that no, you just said no. Oh. And you're all just watching this?
Is this not how all magic
Normally
happens?
what mages do.
No.
It's crazy.
No.
The last time I cast the spell, I casted it on myself. So all of that arcane capability is still on me. So gotta get it out somehow.
Tell Hoffrey that it was pretty rad.
Oh my god.
I like Choom. I like him a lot.
He's the worst.
Anyway, how would you have preferred me cast that spell, Hoffrey?
I mean, I've got the permanent one here. I just needed some juice to get it up.
Yeah, a lot
I-
of those symbols that you just put were already on the ground.
Yes.
You just kind of recopied over
Filled
them.
it in.
Right, because I can't cast magic. Have we gotten to that point yet?
You are the strangest wizard I've ever met.
Oh, that's why I'm a
That's
witch.
saying something.
Yeah, he's casting the spell.
Yes. Anyway, I can't give it the boost that he's requesting,
Okay.
so I give it my own flavor of boost. That's all I can do.
Elias, here. And he hands over a stone with just some dwarven runes on it. Just hand this to the first dwarf you see. That should explain what it needs to. You're my friends, and I am seeking guest friendship on my behalf for all of you. You should be taken care of. And John, you're sure you won't need any escorts through the Grey Spine?
I mean, fairly certain.
Very well.
What are the, has the topography drastically changed in the last 12
The
years?
mountains? No,
Yeah.
the mountains have not changed.
No, I imagine they'd be probably about exactly the same.
Well,
I
for
lived up there for about a decade.
perhaps then you'd like to prep everyone for what they'll have to deal with as they leave Caer.
Cold enough to shiver out of your skin. Snow up to your knees. Apparently some floating fortress with dwarves and some bizarre new study.
Oh.
Probably still some cultists up there, but I imagine they'll be put to heel rather easily.
When were you last in the Grey Spine, John? If you don't mind me asking.
I believe, if I remember John's backstory correctly, like 14, 15 years
It's been
ago.
a while, yeah.
It's been a while.
You will be safe in the immediate vicinity of Caer, but the cult it's grown over the last decade. So I would keep your wits about you, and I've seen you all in action. Just stay sharp.
we have established that there are two ex-cult or a very passionate follower of Danya
Her
and
Michael on.
an ex-cultist
Maybe.
in our humble little family. Which are we referring to? Are we referring to the
Cult of Tormak, I would presume.
right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to double check.
Oh, Blake, I had a question. For Kane, last session when he brought up the Cult of Tormak and said that we would just murder them if we saw any, does Kane or the Order or Danya have any reaction to that? Like, to Tormak? Or does it?
Yeah, give me a religion check.
Fuck.
First off, yeah, for Danya. As for the cult itself, it's just been like, stay clear of them, essentially.
It's a cult with a standing army. Like,
Well,
most
yeah.
people know about it.
Yeah, you know of them, it's like, these are not really the people we fuck with. So,
That's a 7.
a 7. Give me an insight check.
That's worse. I have a +6. That's a 9.
A 9.
Wait, okay, I'm gonna use my inspiration, because I want to know
Yeah,
something for once in my
go for it.
life. That's a natural 1.
Game.
Yeah,
No.
Danya
Good.
has a thought on this, and you are unable to ascertain it.
Cool. Oh, well, yeah, no, still natural 1, so my +6 means nothing.
Yeah, I mean, with advantage, so it would have been the higher roll, but it's still not
Yeah,
that good.
It's
Still
nothing.
it's still a trash roll, bro.
Yup.
Yeah, so you know of the cult's existence.
We're gonna
They
shoot
don't
him.
really fuck around. A cult of the arch fiend of bloodshed and fury, of war waged without restraint.
Got it.
Is it common for followers of Tormak to turn into large ape demons?
Is it?
You've seen that before, yeah.
I mean, yeah.
You've seen literally that thing happen before.
Should
And they were fighting on your side.
Yeah,
So-
pretty often, actually. Do they go back after? Or
No,
do they-
no, that's what they are now. And
That's,
they usually they either slaughter until nothing else is alive, and they kind of just like run off, and who knows what becomes of them? or
Just
they are
vibing
slain.
in the mountain.
Hmm.
Oh no.
Hmm.
Terrible. A terrible thing.
Yeah, it's fairly common. I mean, like, I don't know, 1 in every 25, maybe.
Great.
Given.
Yeah,
give
you
them
remember one
raid.
time? You remember one time there was one of these like Goristros that some of the cult tried to like, hey, like come on back with us, and it just like tore them apart. And then they're like, oh fuck. From then on, it's kind of like, they're on our side, but they are, wrath incarnate, unable to quell it.
Awesome.
Yeah, mostly just happened to people who couldn't really handle
Okay,
the
so-
sauce.
So we
How's that
get
word?
out of the mountains ASAP.
No, it's fine.
Nah, it's really not.
Oh,
Can I insight check that comment from John?
It's fine.
Yeah, go for it. And then, depending on your role, John, I might call on you to hallucinate us all.
21.
It's a pretty good roll. Anything you feel like sharing, John?
John does not particularly seem concerned about the fact that the cult had spread. That seemed to almost make his attitude towards the entire thing a little bit more cavalier. The idea that there's just kind of demons running around doesn't really seem to bug him in that sense.
Wild. He's just gonna show off the sword and be
I'm
like,
gonna-
"Hey guys."
I'm gonna put a pin in that. I'm gonna just put that up in the poke board of my head.
I'm also gonna have to talk to you later, Jacob.
Yeah, about some, yeah.
Cool. Hoffrey finishes setting up the teleportation circle with you, Coralia, plugging in the coordinates of Caer. Yes?
Double down.
Awesome.
So far away from Secundo.
So far away from Secundo. As the last of this sigil sequence illuminates, the ground, the stone ground here begins to shimmer. And do you step inside?
Yeah.
You're taking the cart with you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
carry
We're
it
shrinking
like
it.
you do old noodle carts.
I was gonna say
'Cause
Bethany.
it's getting shrunk, right?
Bethany has been like
I thought we
harnessed
didn't want
up
to
to it.
track a horse into somebody's office.
Does Bethany also get shrunk?
The circle is not in the circle is outside.
Ah,
It's like by his
excellent.
outer forge.
Splendid.
Oh, okay.
Well,
But
I
he
don't care.
But he did say that for on the other side we should probably still have the cart shrunk though, right?
Oh right. Yes.
Yeah,
Okay, in that
um,
case,
I did
Bethany's
yes.
been dismissed and
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bethany can meet us there, don't worry.
And she'll pat her on the flank.
Yeah.
See you there, girl.
Bethany, yes. You just hear in your head, last one there buys the first round. And just starts sprinting away, galloping, I guess.
Run.
Amazing.
No, get in there quick. Get in there now. I'm not buying that horse alcohol. Get in there now.
Oh no.
Terrifying.
A terrifying prospect.
Secundo's gonna be walking across the fucking Unterland and just see this fucking magic horse
Run over by
hauling ass.
Oh. What a day. I crushed a squirrel a week ago and then I got run over by a horse. Boy's having a bad time.
Those
Are
are the
we
only
all,
two logs in Secundo's
Yeah.
journal.
Are we
we're
all
going in.
stepping? We all step into the teleportation circle. As you all step in, then the world around you fractalizes.
Bye,
shimmers.
Mr. Force Ghost. Thanks for everything.
Hoffrey waves goodbye. As you all step inside, you, in a moment between time, between places, there is a sudden tenseness that you see in Hoffrey as several statues all turn at once and look. And you are teleported away to Caer.
The worst. The worst, like, just the worst.
And because I was anticipating us to travel to Altenheim, and I prepped all of that instead, like a fool. We will
Imagine.
call the session there tonight.
Sorry.